Hey, this is how you do a press in arm wrestling. The press is an inside movement where you're mainly attacking the other person's side pressure and their elbow flexion. This is how you do it. There is the setup and then there is the execution for any arm wrestling technique. We will talk about the setup first because that is what leads to the execution. Now the setup is as follows. You need to maintain height through your hand and through your elbow. Your elbow needs to be at the front of the elbow pad and your hand needs to be as high as possible. Once you're here, you need to be able to keep your elbow as inside of your body as possible. This is what will help you execute the move properly. You need to gain height and you need to be as inside of your body as possible. Once you have these things, you grip up. Now as soon as the referee says go, you need to maintain a number of things. If you lose those, you won't be able to execute the press. The first is you need to keep most of your cup. If you completely lose your cup, you will not be pressing anymore. You will be doing a floor press, which is a different technique. If you have been specifically training for the press and it turns into a floor press, you will most likely lose the match because you haven't trained for the floor press. So you need to maintain most of your cup. The second thing is you need to keep your pronation. The reason you need to keep your pronation is because if you lose your pronation, you will be pushing using the side of your hand and you will not be able to generate the maximum amount of power to the side. So you need to maintain most of your cup and your pronation. This is in the execution. Now the reason we need to keep our hand and elbow inside our body is because once the referee says go, this is the most important part of the press, which makes it effective, is that you need to bring your shoulder forward and you need to really bring it forward. Your shoulder should be exactly behind your arm. The reason for this is if you're behind your arm and you apply the press successfully, your opponent's arm is going to be under your arm and you will be putting your body weight on their arm, and that will put you in a good position to win the match. Now, in all matches, this is not going to happen. You may not be able to commit your shoulder fully and there's a good chance that instead of being here, you may be around here. Now this is a dangerous position to be in because you're mainly using your side pressure to push to the side instead of what you should be using, your tricep. In this position, almost all the tension that you're applying is through your triceps. While here, when your shoulder and your forearm are not aligned, you're relying more on your side pressure. So if you're here, you have to be careful not to move to the side too much, otherwise you'll get injured. So the number one thing about the press is in the execution, you need to commit your shoulder forward. That is the most important part. If you're able to commit your shoulder, you will have a good chance to stay in the match, supposing that you get an opponent of equal strength or relatively similar strength. So that is how you do the press in arm wrestling, and if you follow these instructions and you practice, you will become a good presser.